Rubber Toe hits the jump first, but holy Mackinac plunges his front clip into the snow and does an almost perfect cartwheel.
Holy smokes, that's gotta be one of the craziest moves I've ever seen here at the hill.
Oh my, did you see that? Terrence Jr. just pulled off the most perfect rubber toe I've seen yet.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Elevation Trail at Lake Ridge Heights. This is the Victory Lap Tournament, and those were a couple of highlights that we saw over the course of the past year at the jump.
The jump has definitely proven itself to be the equalizer in a number of races over the past year.
This definitely kept the track crew busy, and to be honest, it's really kept Randy out of trouble.
Speaking about trouble, last week, Monstar, Numbskull, and Blake put up points that are anything but safe, where Doc, Arlo, and the Grey Wizard look poised to make appearances in the second round.
I definitely wouldn't say anybody is safe with the caliber of driver we've got coming up now.
You're absolutely right. So let's meet the drivers who make up Group 3. The first car was probably one of my favorite builds this year. It's Ragtag Jim's Silverback. It raced in the Freezy 500, had 140 points, 7 race wins, and was runner-up to Monstar, but not by much.
Next up in this group is a rare gem of a car. You don't see too many people racing Ferraris, but Puff from Puff's Racing threw his Ferrari 250 TR into the supercar ring, and he ended up third place with 119 points and 5 lap wins.
The next driver had a stellar debut here at the Heights. It's Maurice Milestones in his Big Air Bel Air. He won the Wheelie Big Race with 159 points and 6 race wins, but it was a battle between him and Numbskull.
We better get our butts off the track because these guys are itching to go, so let's go up to the gate for race 1. Now, if you're Maurice Milestone or if you're Ragtag Jim, this is exactly how you want to start. And by the result, you would never know that both drivers have never seen the ramp before. Had it not been for Maurice Milestone's hitting Nos a little early, he may have run across the line before Ragtag Jim. They both make it across the line for big points, while Puff, on the other hand, seems to have been deposited by Maurice Milestones in the gap of the course. It's not the greatest of starts for Puff, but if history is on his side, he's still got more in the tank of that Ferrari. And I don't know about y'all, but I just love how the tires explode when they get hit.
Wizard, once you're done with Milestones, go help Randy out with a Silverback. Skid Steer's not going to do that alone.
This is the start that 2 of these guys wanted. Puff, on the other hand, needs to step it up if he's going to make the next round.
Ragtag Jim's got the Silverback humming, and could we be in for another perfect run in the first round? Maurice Milestones looks like he absolutely got the jump wrong. He throws his rig into the rocks, and it is a slow-mo explosion for him. I also think Puff got checked up by the Silverback, and the Silverback just runs away with this lap. And as we watch the action at the jump again, we can see how Maurice Milestone just throws it all away at the jump by getting a wrong landing. Ragtag looks like he's wanting more hill to race down.
Okay, Ragtag, get your Silverback back up to the top of the hill and we'll go for lap 3. The Silverback's racing in a world all its own, and he tops the list after 2.
And Puff gets a little payback on the Silverback in race 3. Ragtag Jim looks to cut in front of Puff and Maurice Milestones, but Puff gets into his rear quarter just in a perfect pit maneuver, which puts Jim over and into the gap between the jump and the ramp, thus ending race 3.
Okay, Randy, nice and easy. Pull Puff off of Ragtag, and we'll have to go get the crane to get Ragtag out of the gap of the course.
And even though Ragtag Jim couldn't pull off the perfect score, he still puts up 26 points.
As we come into this round, we're going to start to see some drivers drop off the list now. As much as we'd like to see them all go through, we're going to have to start eliminating. So, as we put up the scores from tonight, it looks like Ragtag Jim, Doc, and Arlo seem to be safe for now. Well, unfortunately, we do lose Numbskull, Blake, and Puff.
Fortunately for Numbskull, though, he does have another entry into the races tonight.
That just goes to show you how good of a builder he is.
That doesn't mean he's going to have an easier time, though.
What do you mean?
Well, once we introduce the next drivers, you'll know what I mean.
Coming into tonight's race is arguably the world's biggest underdog, and it's Blank from Underdogs Unleashed driving his Jeep CJ Hardtop. He entered the Jeep Jamboree, scored only 11 points, but his best in show is on record.
The second entry from the Numbskull Racing Garage is the Numbskull 8-wheeled Buick. It entered the Wheelie Big Race, scored 156 points, had 9 race wins, and was only runner-up to Maurice Milestone.
And last but certainly not least, our last champion from the Supercar tournament, it's Grumpy Cloud and his Audi Avis. This champion scored 6 race wins and 154 points.
Did Grumpy Cloud even undo his seatbelt?
Nope. Let's go up to the top for race 1. And Grumpy Cloud sure hasn't missed a beat. He gets out of the gate and has his Avis cranked up to 11 as he leaves the others behind. Numbskull and Blank get tangled up just at the top of the course there, and Grumpy Cloud with his laser-like vision has one thing in mind, and that's the finish line. Grumpy Cloud continues his dominance with 11 points.
By the looks of it, Grumpy Cloud's picked up exactly where he's left off, and I've expected more of Numbskull, but there's lots of racing left.
Well, this race had a whole bunch of everything in it. It's Numbskull that causes the chaos this time, as he just gets out in front and shoves Blank over to the one side, and then uses Grumpy Cloud as a snowplow and deposits him in the gap between the jump and the course. Numbskull just stomps Grumpy Cloud with his 8-wheel Buick. Blank, on the other hand, misses a glorious opportunity to collect points, as his Jeep just seems to run out of gas.
Calm your frustration, Numbskull. Still got one more race to go.
With Numbskull mathematically eliminated and Blank only a 9, it's Grumpy Cloud's race to lose.
And those are your clutch points put up by Grumpy Cloud. He's starting to get a reputation for coming up big in these moments. I mean, he is a champion, and this race just illustrates why that is so. Numbskull gets one of his 8 tires caught up in the guardrail and unfortunately collects Blank as he tries to cruise on by. That ruins his run, but at this point, ain't nobody catching Grumpy Cloud.
Chalk up another race win and another group victory as Grumpy Cloud is aces with 26 points.
And it's no wonder that Grumpy Cloud didn't unbuckle his seatbelt from the supercar race. He is one with his machine as he ties Ragtag Jim for top spot in the victory lap scores. And would you look at that? The top 6 are set. Congrats to Ragtag Jim, Grumpy Cloud, Doc, Arlo, Grey Wizard, and Milestones. You 6 will be making the next round.
You should probably also point out that each one of our tournaments is still represented in the top 6.
What, are we keeping score on this now?
We've got an Elevation Trail bingo card going on right now. I need a rubber toe and a flight over the finish line, and I've got a line.
You guys been playing since the start? How come nobody told me?
Well, I'm sure if you ask Duke, he'll give you one.
Duke made these up? I feel so left out.
Well, here, take Randy's. He's not using it. He's still trying to get with Cinder Foley anyways. That's it for tonight. On behalf of all of us here, I'm Ajax. Thank you for watching. And if you like what we do, please share, subscribe, drop a comment. We'll see you again next time. And for the love of diecast, keep racing.
If you think you'd like to give diecast racing a try, surf on over to redlinederby.com. It is your one-stop resource for everything you need to know about this amazing hobby. From how-to guides in order to customize your very own diecast race car to how to put your own track together at home. redlinederby.com's extensive forums and friendly community chat atmosphere will definitely fuel your passion for your new hobby. redlinederby.com. Toy cars, real racing.